Let's talk the club. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk the club. Ooh.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm trying to make sure that I show up here in this, trying to make sure that I'm showing up for you, but it looks like I'm showing up in a small corner. Hang on just a second, and let's just see. All right. There we go. Listen, this software does so many different things, but for those of you who are just joining in, just tuning in, you're not late because I'm just tuning in. But this is the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, the Let's Talk to Cutler spend 1,800 seconds on these Tuesdays together. That's what this day is. And if you're wondering what I'm here to talk about, please know I'm just here to offer something that's inspirational, something that's motivational, something that would possibly challenge you to do what? Challenge you to show up your best self, even in the worst of situations, because in these days, in these times, in this age, we're faced with the worst of times, and we're faced with the worst situations a whole lot of times. So you have an opportunity to make sure that your character stays intact. You have an opportunity to make sure that your integrity shows up. Because if nothing else these days, make sure that the real you show up. You want to make sure that the real you shows up and that you are your best self, even in the worst of situations. It doesn't matter what curveballs come your way. It doesn't matter what potholes come your way. Make sure that you're the best you that you can be, because nobody can beat you at being you. So I want to talk about all of that. I want to offer that kind of inspiration, that kind of motivation. But I also want us in these times to be challenged, to be true to who we are, and to make sure that we are not caught off guard, so that the challenges throw us a curveball and we're knocked down and we can't get back up. Because again, what we need to do is to rehearse in moments like these and settings like this. How do I respond? How should I respond? What do I say? How do I show up? How do I be? And so that's what we talk about. That's what we're going to talk about this evening. And so I want us to remember our why. And I'll talk about that. I want us to remember our why. And I'll talk about, what is my why, Cutler? So when you talk about remember my why, what is that? What does it mean? Well, I'll tell you in just a second. Meanwhile, I'll go in and tell somebody, come on, let's talk to Cutler, because he's going to talk some good stuff this evening. I promise you. I need to shout out the LTTC VIPs. Those are the Let's Talk to Cutler VIPs. The people. For me, everybody is a VIP, but I just want to just have a little fun and talk about the people who just showed up first. The first three people that I see on my end. I know a lot of times you all tell me, well, I thought I showed up first. On my end, I show up first. But I tell you, on my end, the first three people that I see are Lynn Gardner, Linda Martin, and Andy Cutler. Good evening to all of you. Happy Tuesday. Happy, let's spend this 1,800 seconds together. And let's talk about our whys, and let's talk about why that is important. Again, if you're just tuning in, if you're going to catch the replay for the very first time, please know that I invite you to subscribe to this platform and to this channel. And once you do so, you can click on the notification bell. I'm not sure where it is on your device. It may be up there, down there, over there, but wherever it is, click on it, because it lets you know whenever I've gone live and whenever I've uploaded new content. All right. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you invite other people to subscribe as well. I want to share something with you all. I received a notice, and I saw something that one of my former students had posted on social media the other day, and I was so impressed by it. I was so moved by it, because it reminded me to stay focused. It reminded me that it's always important to know why you do what you do. A lot of times, how many of you all can attest to the fact that sometimes you get up and you get in your routine and you do what you do because it's just what you do? You do what you do just because it's what you do, and sometimes you're so busy in your routine until you stop to examine, Why am I doing this? Am I the only person? Has anybody ever been in that mode where you're just functioning, you're in autopilot because this is what I do. I did it yesterday, I did it last week, I did it last month, I did it last year, and this is what I need to do. And so you find yourself functioning in autopilot and you don't stop to examine, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is it that I hope to get? What is my end result? What is my end game? What is my end goal by doing the thing that I'm doing? What's really keeping me motivated? What's pushing me along? What defines me as I'm doing this? I want to talk about remembering your why, and that I just want to remind us that it is important to remember your why. All right. And as I talk about the fact that it's important to remember your why, I do want to, and this is something I've been intending to do, I'm so thankful that I have wonderful people in my corner, wonderful people who have pushed me, wonderful people who have pulled me, wonderful people who support and motivate and encourage me and follow me like you all do, and support and say nice things. And so I always want to pay those things forward. And just as someone promoted me when I came on and transferred to this platform, I want to encourage you all to support whenever your schedules allow, and whatever you can. I want you all to support someone who has supported me. McDiner has been a consistent supporter and of this platform, and I. Yeah, I've been intending to do this, but McDiner also has a platform on YouTube, and it's called Boomer5 Boom. So BOOMER, the number 5, and Boom. In fact, let me just write that down here. It is Boomer, BOOMER 5 Boom. So if you get a chance to go over there and show her some love and support, and just make sure that you do that, because she's sharing information for baby boomers. Go take a look and get all the information you can. So I just wanted to put in a plug for that YouTube platform, which is hosted by one of our friends who, like I said, who's always here and has always been so supportive. But let's go back to this whole notion of remember your why. And with all the things that are going on nowadays, one of the things I want to remind us of is the fact that obstacles are always going to be a part of your journey. Bad news is always going to be it might be changed to coast to clear. All right. But remember this, that obstacles are always going to be a part of your journey. Heartache is going to be a part of your journey. Hurdles are going to be a part of your journey. Downfalls are going to be a part of your journey. Potholes are going to be a part of your journey. Setbacks are going to be a part of your journey. But that should not change who you are. That should not change why you do what you do. Let me read this to you. This is something that one of my former students posted, as I said, and I want to share, and let's see if it motivates you all. This is something he wrote. He said, we spent years grinding. He was talking about some of his friends. We spent years grinding law school, med school, building our businesses from the ground up. We hit every milestone, checked every box, and now we are here. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what's all of this for? So many of us get caught in the cycle of reaching for the next goal without ever pausing to define the bigger picture. Isn't that true? Some of us get so caught up in the cycle of reaching for the next goal without ever pausing to define the bigger picture. We put our heads down, do the work, and before we know it, life is moving. But we're not sure where it's actually taking us. Can anybody attest to that? You just do the thing that you do. You put your head down, you keep grinding, you keep striving, you keep doing what you do. And then all of a sudden you look up. You look up. Life is moving. And you're not sure where it's actually taking you. That resonated with me. But then listen to this, you all. If we don't have a clear why, we will wake up one day realizing we built something, but we're not sure if it's even what we wanted. I paused when I read that, And I reflected on that over and over and over. If we don't have a clear why, we will wake up one day realizing we built something, but we're not sure even if it's what we wanted. How many of us really can identify with that there are things that you were working hard to achieve, you were working hard to do, you were working hard because you thought you wanted it. Then when you wanted it, when you got to the end result, you realize that's not what I wanted. I did all that work. I put in all that effort. I put in all of that energy. And ultimately, what I thought I wanted is not really what I want. I want to talk about and encourage us to remember your why. And then let's see. Here's the piece. Because when the why is strong, this is what my former student said. Because when the why is strong enough, everything else falls into place. The sacrifices make sense. The obstacles become part of the journey. I told you all the obstacles become part of the journey, not reasons for the stop. I stopped there and I reached out to my student and had a conversation and certainly wanted to commend him for just his wonderful, powerful way of thinking. When your why is clear, you understand that the obstacles become part of the journey, not reasons for you stopping. Headaches, heartaches, setbacks, potholes, all of those things, when you have a clear definition of why you do what you do, all of those things become part of the journey. They don't become reasons for you to stop. Tell somebody, come on and let's talk to Cutler, because the man is really talking good tonight. He's talking about remembering your why and understanding that sometimes there are things that happen in life that if you could have re-scripted your life for you, you would have just re-scripted all the way out. They would have never been in there. But I wanted to remind you, and I want to remind you all this evening, that those things are just a part of life and they are reason to keep on going. They are not reasons for you to stop. Setbacks, obstacles, those things are reasons for you to keep on going. When you're clear about why you do what you do, you run into those obstacles, and those are things that motivate you. Those are things that encourage you to say, you know what, that's just a part of life. It's just a part of my journey. It's not a reason for me to stop. Because sometimes, so many of us, we've given up and we give up and we will give up so easily. But I want us to sit back and take a second look at these things. I want us to exhale and then inhale and say, you know what, that's just a part of the journey. Or as some people say, that's just par for the course. It just comes along with the territory. It just comes along with my life. And guess what? It's not going to make me give up. It's not going to make me throw in the towel. It's not going to make me throw up my hands in defeat. It's not going to make me surrender. But if it does anything, it's going to push me just a little further. It's going to build me up just a little higher. It's going to cause me to stay laser and razor focused. Remember your why. Remember why you do what you do. Don't forget. This is why I do what I do. So, Cutler, what do you mean when you talk about a why? What is it? Remembering your why is so important. It's one of those phrases that you hear, but it really admonishes us to remember what motivates you. Remember the reasons why you do what you do, and it can help you stay motivated. It can help you stay fulfilled. Why is it so important? Because it helps you to avoid becoming burnt out. It helps you to define who you are, what you really want to achieve. It helps you make decisions. It helps you take actions that are meaningful, that are productive, that are congruent with what you want in life. It helps you feel more fulfilled about what you do on a daily basis, from day to day to day. Understanding my why helps me to realize that I am fulfilled every day. So I didn't just meander through the day aimlessly, not knowing what I wanted, not knowing what I wanted to do, but I had a reason for doing what I did. I'm motivated. I'm not burned out. I might be tired, but I'm not burned out. I know who I am. I know what I want to achieve. That's why remembering your why is so important, you all. It is. Some people refer to your why as your North Star, the thing that guides you, the thing that you look at where you've set your aspiration and you say, that's where I'm going. How then, Cutler, how can I remember my why? Step back and take a look. What's important to you? What are your values? What are your passions? What are you obsessed about? And I mean that in a good way. What are your values? What are your passions? What are you obsessed about? What are my pain points? What are my inspirations? What are the things that trigger me and cause me to just have deep grief? So what are the things that trouble me? What are the things that trigger me? But what are the things that inspire me? How do I remember my why? That's what you do. Make sure that when you are when you are developing your why, make sure that you're specific about what you want in life, what's important to you. Make sure that you're clear. Make sure that it's something that you can really attain. So that way you use your why as a reference point every single day of your life. This is why I do what I do. This is why I respond the way I respond. This is why I talk the way I talk. This is why I show up the way I show up. No, I'm just not operating. I'm just not performing. I'm just not executing without reason, but there's a reason why I do what I do. I don't know what and I can't define that for you, but I can encourage you to do it. I can remind you to do it. What is it that you want to get out of life? What is it that you want to do? What is your ultimate goal? Perhaps you want to help change somebody's life. You all know I say it all the time. I'm just trying to help save somebody's life. That's a part of my motivation every day because I want to do for others what somebody one day did for me. Or you could say, you know what? Here's what I really want to do, Cutler. I want to make sure that I leave a positive impact on somebody's life. I want to be a shoulder for them to be able to lean on. I want to be an ear for them to have somebody to talk to. I want to leave a positive impact. I want to show myself as a friend. I want to make somebody's life just a little more comfortable, just a little more easy, a little less difficult. That could be your why. Your why could be, you know what? I want to help grow and to develop this person. I want to be somebody's mentor. I want to take this protege and show him or her how to navigate life, how to do this thing that I've done well, that I've done successfully. I want to develop and grow somebody else. I want to show somebody else how to think outside of the box, how to be all that you can be, how not to be confined, how not to be restrained, how not to be restricted. Your why might be, you know what? I want to provide value for others. I want to show them that there's value in what they do. I want to add value to their lives. So that I want to highlight or accentuate the value that's already there. Some people have the lofty goal, I want to change the world. And guess what? We can all be world changers. You are changing the world. May I suggest to you and say this to you, you are changing the world by your mere presence, by your mere being here. It's how you're going to change it. Are you going to effect positive change or negative change? But all of these can be your whys. Every single day when you get up, you just define your why and you say, hello world, I'm here. I'm here again. And hello world, I'm here again. And by the time I put my head on the pillow tonight, you will have been changed and impacted in a positive way. We need to say that every single day. Hello world, I'm here. And by the time I put my head on my pillow tonight, you will have been impacted and changed in a more beautiful and a positive way. It has nothing to do with ego, or arrogance, or conceit. It has everything to do about understanding your purpose and your why and your North Star. I'm here because that's the thing that guides me. Making a difference in somebody's life is what guides me. Helping somebody to understand that you can be better and that you don't have to be stuck in a rut is what guides me. Can I tell y'all that there are often times in my life when things come my way and they confront me, I reflect on the conversations that I have with you all. And I say, how are you going to tell somebody else what to do when you might try to react and show up this way? No. So I'm telling you all, the mere fact that we're here these Tuesdays, these 1800 seconds, I think about you all often. I was in my doctor's office the other day and my doctor called to give me some results. And I thought, okay, so now that I've got this, how am I going to respond? My doctor said to me, okay, I'm looking at your results here. You don't walk as much as you used to walk, do you? I'm not going to tell you why he said that. Yes, I would tell you all. So when I got on the scales, when I stood on the scale, and I said, okay, so now you all are going to give me credit. You're going to give me credit. Are you going to give me credit for the clothing that I have on, right? So, but the nurse didn't do that. The nurse just put my weight in the chart. So when the doctor came in, the doctor said, okay, we've gained a little weight, haven't we? And I looked up and thought, we have? And I said, well, did the nurse give me credit for the clothes that I'm wearing? I had on boots. I was just trying to think of some of everything. And the doctor said, uh, is there something that you aren't doing that you used to do? And I said, I haven't been walking as much. He said, get back to walking. And I thought, oh, am I going to share that? Am I going to tell anybody that? And I thought about you all, because I thought about all the times when I was just ranting and raving about how much I was walking, and particularly after my surgery, and after being down so long with my foot and not being able to walk, and I was so just excited about walking. But life happens, and I thought about what's been going on with the weather and the storms and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, Cutler, get outside and get back into your routine. Because one of my whys is to motivate people, I have to say to myself, listen, when obstacles and distractions come, you don't let them reroute you. And with all of the obstacles and the distractions that had come, I allowed those things to reroute me. So I wasn't walking as much. And I said, you know what? I'm going to parlay this into a transparent, candid, honest conversation and say to my friends, sometimes as life is happening, when those distractions are coming, don't forget your why. Don't forget the thing that guides you. One of my whys is to live a long time, because the longer I live, then the longer I have to effect change in somebody else's life. The longer I have to try to grow and develop somebody else. The longer I have to try to be a positive impact. The longer I have to try to change lives. So I thought, okay, all right. And it sounded so minuscule and so minimal, but I thought, no, absolutely not. The distractions have come. And so you have to lead by example, Cutler. And I said, I'm going to confess. But just make sure that you remember your why, you all. And sometimes we have these wonderful, these epic plans to do amazing things. But don't forget, don't forget that you don't want to hold your head down and look up and you're someplace and you don't know, as my student said, you don't know how you got there or what's going on. I'm telling you all, this post that my student made, it just really spoke to me. That says sometimes we hold our head down and we realize when we hold our head up that life has been happening. And life has been happening, and we really weren't even aware of what was going on. No worries. No worries. Just start developing your why and understanding your why now, and just write it down. Like I said, some people will call it your North Star. What is it? What is it that you're pursuing? I see the star and I'm following it. What are you pursuing? What is your source of motivation? And once you have an understanding about your source of motivation, it's going to help you to be more consistent. It's going to help you to become more organized. It's going to help you to just clarify your goals, why you do what you do. It's going to help you meet more of your goals. I understand this is what I want to do, and so I can mark off these are the things that I want to do. It's going to help you find your purpose and define your purpose every single day. Purpose is what happens while you're still living. Sometimes we get caught up and say, you know what, let me discover what my purpose is, and then I can get started. No. It does not work that way. Purpose is what happens every single day while you're living. It's the byproducts of the fact that you were there. It's the byproducts of the fact that you were there. And when you define your why, it also helps you to handle setbacks. All right. Let's see. McDonald said, I have the same problem with being weighed in. Next time I'll wear flip-flops instead of boots and no coat. You're right. Absolutely. McDonald, I think I'm going to do the same thing. Telling me that I was weighed more than I need to weigh. Okay. All right. But you see, I just got to keep going. So I don't have that mental setback. But I'm telling you all, understand your why. Understand your why. Make sure that more than anybody else, beyond anybody else, that you have a keen awareness of your values. You have a keen awareness of what's important to you. The first step it takes in defining your why is identifying what we call your core values. What's important to me? What are your core personal values? And you have to think about that. Have you ever thought about what are your core personal values? What's really important to you? Because sometimes people might struggle with that. You might struggle with that. And you think, okay, so what are my core values? What really is important to me? And really, one of my core values, as you've heard in my conversation, is my health, my family. For some people, it may be your creativity. It may be your ability to show up in a very selfless way. It might be your integrity because you want the world to understand that you're a very integral person. It might be your honesty in a world where so many people are lying and falsifying. Your honesty may be one of your core personal values. Your spirituality might be one of your core values, to understand that you are both human and divine, and physical and spiritual. That may be one of your core divines, one of your core values. One of your core values might be just the notion of being kind. It's important for me to be kind. It's what guides me. It's what's so important to me. It makes a difference in my life, how I treat people. Or it might be your autonomy, your ability to move without constraints, your ability to move without feeling that you're tied down or confined. All of those things might be your core value. And when you identify your core values, then it helps you to understand your why. And so after you define that, then you say, well, you know what? Let me see. Let me now take those core values and see if I can transform them into something that's compelling. Will this move me if I feel like I'm stuck? If I'm stuck, will thinking about my health move me, or thinking about my spirituality move me, or thinking about being kind with those things move me? They ought to move you. They ought to make you think, how am I going to respond to this thing that happened today, that showed up today? You defining your whys also makes you think, what are the things that I'm really obsessed about? Not in a bad way, but in a good way. What are the things that I am obsessed about, that I'm passionate about? The things that really will get me through those difficult situations. So when I'm going through a difficult moment, what are the things that drive me? It's more than just a word, but what are the things that really drive me? What are the things that I am obsessed about? What are my interests? What are my biggest passions? What resonates with me the most? I'm just trying to help us in defining our whys, because can I say this to us? For some of us, you will never know your how or your what until you can define your why. What am I going to do? You may never know your what until you can define your why. So the first thing you might think, okay, so not what do I want to do, but why whatever the what is, why am I going to do it? What drives me? Let's work on defining what our whys are. What motivates me? Who motivates me? Am I motivated by my family? Am I motivated by my friends? Am I motivated by my core values? So think about those things. I just wanted to share that with us, because it might be important as some of us are developing. I'm gonna hit you with this. It may be important for some of us as we are developing our whys. It might help for some of us to think more and maybe talk a little less. I want you to go inside yourself and say, you know what, only I can define this, only I can determine this, because right now I have to be introspective, internally looking at myself and understanding what drives me, what do I really want in life. If I could take that date and that date where there's going to be a dash, what is the impetus for that dash? What is it about that dash that dash can never tell, that they don't have time to talk about it? So between this date and that date, one day when my eyes are closed, between that date and that date, there would be a dash. But what motivated me to do everything that I did that's represented by that dash? What caused me to show up? What caused me not to give up? That is the thing that I need to define. That's the thing that I need to understand. That is the thing that I need to look inside of myself and say, that's the thing that drives me. And it's not too late to define that. It's not too late to find that. It's not too late to grab hold to that. But that is the thing. What is the thing that made me want to live as long as I do and as long as I will? That is the thing that you lay hold to. That is the thing that causes you not to give up in days like this and times like this and moments like this. When these are the times, as Thomas Paine said, that try men's souls. The time when life is lifing and other things are doing what they do. Remember your why. That's all I wanted to share this evening. Remember your why and understand that the obstacles are just a part of the journey. They're not a reason to give up. Understand your why. And many times, I gotta go, but many times when you understand your why and you walk in purpose, then you can help other people define and determine their why. Hey, you all, let's keep doing what we do. Thank you so much for allowing me to come into whatever space you've allowed me to come into. Whether it's your home, your living room, your car, wherever it is. Thank you. Let's keep doing what we do. Let's keep building a community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's stay safe and stay sane. Keep your heads up. And more than that, keep your hopes up. And the next time I see you all, I hope we will have come closer to defining our why. I know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Until the next time I see you all, tell somebody, come on and let's talk to Cutler. Good night, everybody.